the Duggar family who are with us. 19. Count it. Do you use that track?
Yes, sir. I use it all the time.
What's your favorite?
My favorite is Round to It.
Round to It? What about you?
My favorite is the $1 Million Bill.
$1 Million Bill. I'm on the Trillion. Love the Trillion. It's good to see you guys use the tracks.
I like the $1 Million Bill track.
You like the million?
I've never seen it.
This is the Trillion.
Ah!
My name's Ray Comfort. In 1973, I published my first gospel tract. Since that time, we've sold more than 160 million tracts. And I think the reason they're so popular is because they're kind of unique and non-Christians ask for more. Let me show you a few of them. I'm going to speak quickly because we've got a lot of tracks to get through, but this is the Door Hanger, and who's not going to like Elvis and John Lennon and other celebrities? Here we have the Curved Illusion tract. Which looks longer to you? Red or blue? Obviously the blue looks longer. And swap them over, the red looks longer. Gospel on the back. It's also in Spanish, it comes in red and green. Here is the tract called You Are Here. This brings into proportion what we are when it comes to creation. This is from NASA, a real life picture of the sun, and this is the earth in proportion to the sun. And it really shows how incredible God must be to speak the sun and other suns like it into existence. I love this. This is our 10 Commandment coin. When you drop it on a sidewalk, it has perceived value to sound, with sound. It also comes with a little tract in which the coin fits in like this, and you can give it away as a gift to someone. Science confirms the Bible. I don't know if you realize it, but the Bible does have many scientific facts, like the earth being a sphere. It speaks of its free float in space. It says what the Bible says, what science now says, and what science then said way back then. So this establishes the credibility of Scriptures. Here's 101 of the world's funniest one-liners. If at first you don't succeed, don't try skydiving. They really are funny. People love them. You've got plenty of getaway time because the gospel is hidden way on the inside. And when you give it out, you can say, hey, read that when you get around to it. And this is our Round to It tract. Here is our 4 simple laws. It's kind of like the 4 spiritual laws, but it adds the fact that we've violated God's law. There's going to be a judgment day, the existence of hell, and it opens up the 10 Commandments to bring the knowledge of sin. Mind game, this one's great. Pick any one of the 6 cards. Pick one of these cards. Maybe you chose the King of Spades, and when you look on the back, whatever you chose is gone. Or maybe you choose the Jack of Diamonds. Turn over the back, and the Jack of Diamonds is gone. The world's 10 most popular things. This is a scratch. It's not a scratch and sniff, it's just a scratch. What's the most popular name? What's the most popular drink? It's a fun tract, and then it says most popular fairy tale, and when you scratch that one off, it says Darwinian evolution, and it presents the gospel. Here is a very thorough presentation of the gospel, goes through the 10 Commandments in detail. Very popular tract, Are You Good Enough to Go to Heaven? The world's best optical illusions. I don't know if you can see it, but those dots appear and disappear. When you open this up, these look like a mess, but when you turn it on the edge, they're actually horizontal. I don't know if you can see that. And on the inside, it's got the elephant with obviously 4 legs, and when you take it away, it's got 5. And on the back, it has a face, but when you turn it to the side, it actually says liar, and this is in keeping with the good test you give the person. Which square is darker? Can you see the B and the A? The B obviously looks lighter than the A, but when you put the tract over that, they're actually the same color. Another optical illusion. On the inside, it's got more incredible optical illusions. Here we have a survey. You can put this on a board and do a survey. How many of each animal did Moses take into the ark? What's the name of the raised print that deaf people use? Actually, Moses didn't take any animals into the ark, and deaf people don't use raised print. Blind people do. They need Braille. So it's a great intelligence test. We used this one for a number of years when we preached at the local courts, but it's great to give out outside courts when people are lining up to see the judge, because it gives court etiquette, the do's and don'ts of when you go into court, and then talks about the big court case you have to face on Judgment Day. Here's the ticket to heaven. If you don't need a ticket to heaven, tear this up if you can. And when you do this, you can't tear up, it's unterrible paper. This is the $1 trillion bill. They say, hey, we're trying to keep up with the government, trying to fix the economy, or you'll think of me when you get the change. And you can say to someone, it's a $1 trillion bill with a gospel message on the back. What do you think happens after someone dies? It's a great way to segue into the gospel. The intelligence test bookmark. This has a number of wonderful intelligence tests, and it's got a 10-minute getaway time. You can give this to someone, and it's going to be 10 minutes before they even get to the gospel message. So if you're a little fearful, this is ideal. The Titanic tract. This one goes down well. We've had it for years. The Titanic movie really paved the way for this wonderful collectible. The $1 million tract, same as the trillion, but not quite as much. Gospel on the back as usual. This is also in Spanish. We have the good test in booklet form. So you can take someone through the good test. You consider yourself to be a good person. It's easy reading, little graphics now, and it also comes in Spanish. Same test with a cartoon form. Are you a good person? This is tremendously popular. Cartoons are a wonderful way to get the gospel into people's hands. This also comes in Spanish. Here is the giant money. It's a big one. And the wonderful thing about this is the government started the gospel message off for us with "In God We Trust." But the wonderful thing about it is people take it and they begin to read it as they walk along a sidewalk, and other people see them holding this giant $100 bill, and they'll come to you and say, hey, you're the guy giving these out, could I please have one? Or the gal giving them out. This is the big money as opposed to the giant money. It's a $1,000 bill with Benjamin Franklin on the front, and our smart card, which says place your thumb firmly on the box for 15 seconds. If you're a good person, it will turn a bright green. Note it must be for exactly 15 seconds. And people actually do it thinking it's going to turn green. And on the back it tells them they're not a good person in God's book. Hey kids, this is a wonderful way to get the gospel into the hands of kids. It presents the gospel in a way that children can understand, but at the same time it teaches them to memorize the 10 Commandments. Something to think about. Another cute little booklet with graphics inside it. You can give this to someone and say, here's a picture of me when I was a little kid. Makes them laugh. These are the intelligence test cards. This is wonderful. Read out loud the wording in the 3 triangles. If you read this as Paris in the spring, bird in the hand, once in a lifetime, you do what most people do. You make the mistake of not reading it properly. It actually says Paris in the spring, bird in the hand, once in a lifetime. It says do another test on the back. So people actually do this, and they begin to read out loud these 6 questions about God on the back, and it swings from the natural to the spiritual very, very easily. Here's another IQ test. This is a wonderful math test that most people mess up. Another test here, another optical illusion. Finished files, the results of years of scientific study combined with the experience of years. See if you can find the F's in that. Most people mess it up. God is nowhere, or God is now here. And this one says, the wages of sin is death. What is the gift of God? When you turn it upside down, it says everlasting life. This is the 10 Commandment penny. It's a real penny. We have a machine that presses the 10 Commandments into the penny. It's a wonderful gift to give to people. This is our pro-life tract. Under fair use law, you're allowed to use graphics of a video cover or a DVD cover if you do it as a review. So we reviewed the National Geographic In the Womb, and that meant we could use the cover. And so when someone says, I don't believe that's a real baby in the womb, we can say, well, this is from National Geographic, and it gives us credibility in the eyes of the world. And it also gives a very clear gospel presentation, and on the back it has advertising about the 180 movie, which if you haven't seen, please go to 180movie.com and check it out. Here we have a gift for you. It says money within, and people are usually skeptical when they open it, but what you do is you get some clean money, like a $1 bill or a $5 bill, depending on how wealthy you are, and just slip it in the slot, and it sure holds credibility with people when you give them the gospel and you give them money at the same time. They'll never forget the day that someone gave them a free $1 bill. This one is for people whose baby boomers, people from the 60s or 70s whose eyes are beginning to go a little bit, but remember some of the things that happened in the 70s and 80s, Cassius Clay, etc., but it's a larger font for those whose eyes are going a little. The Atheist Test, we've sold over 1 million copies of this. This is it shows the foolishness of atheism by using the Coca-Cola analogy and the infamous banana analogy. Good old faithful wallet tract. You open it up, and inside there's money and credit cards, and open it again, and it says, if this was a real wallet packed with real money, would you keep it or take it to the police? It gives people moral dilemmas, but if you're scared to give out tracts to people, you can always just drop this on the ground. People will pick it up thinking it's a real wallet. We have a new tract coming out. It's the 1E tract is at the printers at the moment. It'll have the Paris in the Spring credit card on the back, and it opens up with the gospel on the inside. So by the time you see this, we'll have this online at livingwaters.com. And after you've witnessed to someone, you can always give them this card. It just says, thanks for listening to me, with a picture of you on the front. And then on the back, it has principles of Christian growth, about reading the Bible daily, what faith is, prayer, fellowship, water baptism, evangelism, and spiritual warfare. So it's great to follow up with that.
So we're from Canada, we're here on vacation. We are so excited. We ordered over 500 movies of the 180, which is incredible. And we actually
just finished handing out 300.
Yeah, it's amazing. We have like $1,000 worth of tracts. We're so pumped. And we
took the basic training course.
We taught it to our church. They just graduated. We're so excited, and it's incredible.
And lots of souls are coming to the Lord Jesus Christ.
Incredible. We've been evangelizing for over 7 years, and within like 1 hour, it's within the 7 years of trying to bring people to Christ. It's like it's a revival. Like it's incredible.
It's a bomb of revival.
Amazing. If anyone has not taken this course, you've got to take it. It has changed our lives.